Hello again, this is Hyper Knight G, and I am in this video going to be talking about the Tenderizer, that special weapon we get from Grahm during Meat Week, or more accurately the plan and hopefully mod plans we get from Grahm during Meat Week. This is part of a series I'm doing on two-handed melee weapons. You can see the War Glaives from my last episode. This one we're going to be talking about, well, it's a keg on a stick. Don't know how else to describe it. This is the weapon that Grahm himself carries around, and you can see I've gone ahead and gotten all of the mods for it, and I've got them all on display here. So let's go ahead and take the base version of the Tenderizer off the shelf here and see what it looks like under the hood, so to speak. If I'm going to craft one of these, it is a blunt melee weapon, not edged. And when I come all the way down here to the Tenderizer, it's almost at the bottom. To make a Tenderizer, which you can only make it at level 50, it's going to take Makeshift Warrior rank 4, Adhesive of 9, Aluminum 10, Plastic 13, Screw of 10, and 22 Steel. So in other words, nothing really that rare, the sorts of things that Grahm could get his hands on, so to speak. And it really is just a giant keg that's been strapped to a metal bar, and he's added some spikes in the end. We'll talk about the visual aspects of it in just a minute, but that's how you make one if you have the plan for the Tenderizer. Let's go modify one. So this Tenderizer right here, there are no appearance mods whatsoever, because it's pretty striking as its own, no pun intended. If I want to modify it, let's take a look. My initial damage here is 180, and it is a slow swing speed, as all two-handed melee weapons are. You're swinging a keg around. It's not going to go that fast. If I want to make it spicy, I actually need 1 adhesive, 5 cloth, that's for the rope, 3 for the plastic, and I need 5 spices. You need food to make this weapon, because I'm literally adding a bottle of hot sauce to the side of it, and you'll see that in greater detail in a minute. I take the 180 damage from the base Tenderizer, and I add to it 16 energy damage for a total of 196, which is not bad for a two-handed melee weapon. They're pretty beefy boys, and 196 is pretty good. If you're feeling a little salty, though, instead of the spice, we'll use 5 salt. Literally, that's the only thing that changes. And instead of 180 plus 16, so we had 196 for the spicy, the salty gets 187. Which isn't so much, but look at the description. You have a chance to cripple and do extra limb damage when compared to the original spiceless Tenderizer. Finally, let's look at the peppered Tenderizer. It's just straight damage. It's a total of 209, and we'll be using 5 pepper to craft this, and you can see the pepper grinder on the top of it. This is definitely the beefy boy. It's the big one you want to get. So let's take a look at what they all look like when compared to each other. If I put the original Tenderizer back up on the wall, you can see that for the most part, they all look the same, but here you should be able to see the hot sauce bottle on the side of the spicy Tenderizer, and it's very difficult to show. I'm not going to be able to get close enough in, but I can see little droplets coming out of the bottle. And if I look up at the salty one, this may be a bit easier. You can kind of see the drops coming out right there. And they tend to fall steadily out of the salt shaker. And we can actually see, as I look up at the peppered one, we can see a couple of bits of pepper coming out of the grinder up here on this one. Now, once you have the plan, you are able to get legendary versions of this. I have a really nice one right now. I was able to find an anti-armor, the peppered Tenderizer. Naming is wow. This one does +1 strength, ignores 50% of my target's armor, and does 40% more power attack damage. And you can see, as soon as I got it, I immediately peppered it, because of course I did. Not sure how close I can get to the grinder. That may be about as good as I can do. It's kind of black and green. Oh, feed the peoples on. That's nice. What I love about this is that when Grahm was designing this weapon, he clearly didn't think much of our understanding of it. He labeled it on the front, "Hit Meat." And then he put an arrow on the side so that we knew that spiky bit goes into your opponent. Additionally, he even strapped a hammer on the side of it, on both sides of it, actually. Yeah, because more hammers is good, I guess. But we only need one pepper grinder. Having two pepper grinders would be ridiculous, obviously. So there you go. That's the Tenderizer. How does it stack up when compared to any of the War Glaives that are brand new? Well, as I said in my last video, the War Glaives, they do, this one in particular that I've got pulled up, 98 plus 131. 98 plus 131, all the way down the board. Whichever mod you pick, as long as you mod it, you're going to get 98 plus 131, which is going to bring you to a total of 229. Now again, that's for a normal version. This is a legendary Tenderizer. So I'm only doing 213, but you've got to remember it's a legendary module, the legendary version. So I am going to be ignoring armor and doing more power attack damage. And honestly, it's pretty comparable, comparatively speaking. Now, I should point out, you can get legendary glaives and legendary tenderizers, and that's going to make your numbers wildly different. But did want to show off this other version I've got real quick. This is my Mutant Slayer's Tenderizer, and the reason that I like it is because I got it for finishing Manhunt, the quest where you kill all the super mutants. This one does 30% damage to super mutants. I haven't peppered it yet, but I'm going to. At this point, it's just a question of blunt versus bladed, which one you prefer. You're going to be doing over 200 with both sets of weapons, but I highly recommend, since you can't get a War Glaive plan through trading, if you can go online and find somebody with a Tenderizer plan, I recommend giving this item a shot, just because, well, you look really cool swinging the thing around. I mean, it's just undeniable. Who doesn't run from the guy swinging a keg over his shoulder? Alright, that's it. This is Hyper Knight G, and I don't know, is there a bell on this video or something? Maybe. A thumbs up kind of thing? I don't know. Pick something, whatever you like. Push a button. Show it to a friend. Or don't. I'm not your mom. Alright, have a good one.